Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kebicho YouTube channel. I want first of all to thank all of you for the support that you have continually given unto me in this particular platform, and it's my hope that you have learned a lot. And today, I want to spend about 10 minutes and share with you a very important information or message that may divine your tomorrow, that may divine your destiny, that may make you to go to levels never expected. And the topic today is what we call the enemy within. Who is this enemy within? The enemy within is basically you as an individual. There come a time in life when you have to make some very scathing decisions. One of the things that you must remember before I discuss with you what it is that I want us to share with this particular topic of the enemy within is this aspect of having what we call a fixated mindset. Some of us have this thinking or have this notion that they were born to fail. And one of the things that I want you to remember all the days of your life is that nobody was born as an example of a failure. Nobody was born to lead life in misery. Nobody was born with wealth. Nobody was born a professor. Nobody was born a lawyer. Nobody was born a poet. Nobody was born a musician. Nobody was born a runner. It is the realization along the way of the innate talents that God has given us that finally makes us the people that we become. So I want us first of all to look at this aspect of mindset, fixated mindset. There is nothing as dangerous as having what we call a fixated mindset, whereby you have been brought up, or you have this thought that nothing was made to learn in perfect harmony with your thinking. And that is what has become the fertilizer of failure. And I have told you on many occasions that the moment you perceive yourself to be a failure, the angels of the world will conspire and make you a better failure. The moment you think that you can do it, the angels of this same world will also conspire to make you the best person the world purposed you to be. So it is purely what we call a mindset. Mindset is key, and the enemy of success, the enemy of breakthrough, lies in your mindset. You find a teacher, for instance, who's been teaching for more than 30 years in class, and he has never at any one time shown or exhibited qualities of a leader. He therefore retires an ordinary teacher. Whereas others who came later than him, they came and they rose the ladder. They climbed the ladder gradually, and today they are the principals, they're the chief principals, the senior principals that we have in the Republic of Kenya. Why? Because they came facing life with what we call a positive mindset. So one of the things that you must do to succeed in life is that you must remove the cobwebs within your neurocircuitry system that makes you think that you were born a failure. If I was to be defined by where I was born and brought up, I was born and brought up in a forest. And I have said this one many times. I was born and brought up in a forest which is called Kiadogoro Forest, 18 kilometers west of Nyeri town. As a matter of fact, for those people who have got what we call some familiarity with how a forest looks like, the majority of things that I used to actually witness or maybe interact with, there were elephants, hyenas, squirrels, rodents, savarians, among others. But then I was never divined by the circumstances that I first encountered my life too. So one of the things, and I have reminded people this many times, I'm the very person who was walking. For those people who may have a bit of geographical understanding of Nyeri, my mother and my father, they were peasant farmers. My father was doing what we call rubbering, kupasua bao, and my mother was actually a peasant farmer. She was doing what we call subsistence farming when my father was busy actually going looking for logs that he can be able to make tiba, to make ends meet for us. And we were many. I will not even mention the number of people that we were in our family. So I'm telling you, we used to live in grass-thatched homes, louded, mud walled houses. We never used to have beds. We slept on the floor. We never used to have the luxury of electricity. There was no shower. There was actually, as a matter of fact, we could take our shower on the learning levers. When I went to high school, I had no jacket. I had no cardigan. I used to be rained on. I'm telling you, I have told you in the past that our family was being regarded as a museum of misery. But I thank God that is in the past. Because my mindset, I had no fixated mindset. As a matter of fact, I maintained positive enthusiasm that made me to be the person I am today. So, and that is why I've been telling people that the first step towards success is when you refuse to become a prisoner of the circumstances you first found yourself in. Because I have told you on a number of occasions that sleeping in a garage does not make you a car. Neither does swimming in Lake Victoria make you a reptile. And sleeping, Jesus Christ, a perfect example, was born in a manger. He never became a calf. So we should not be defined by the circumstances. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this for free, that those people who have come from very, very humble backgrounds, when God starts to open the doors of their prosperity, he does it in a very fashionable manner. I was without description. I was nondescript, but God changed my narration. So we must kill this master narrative that you were born not to succeed. Everybody has the potential of succeeding. The founding father of this nation, His Excellency, the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, he was a meter reader with Nairobi City Council. The former president of the United States of America, Barack Hussein Obama, was actually born and brought up in Kogero. He was raised up in Kogero. He was carrying cabbages on an old sack. He was wearing a Reebok. I think, as a matter of fact, because I still have photos of him, he was taking what we call, he was smoking roasters that time. But that never defined whom he became. As a matter of fact, that is what made him, that is what catapulted him to start seeing that opportunities are all over. So you need to ask yourself, what is it that you feed your mind with? Because garbage in, garbage out. So do not allow anyone to define whom you can become. As I sit here, and I will say it here on this particular channel, that come the year 2032, God willing, I'll be vying for presidency. That is it. That's a foregone conclusion. I don't require anybody's approval whether I can make a president, because even you watching me right now, you found Kibisho to be the person he is today. You were not in my formation processes. You found a product by the name Dr. Kibisho. Likewise, similarly, there is no failure without attempt. So what do I want to do in this particular brief video clip? I want to remind you this. Can you define your destination? Where do you want to be? DD, define your destination. If you're tired of living in the same place, if the price that you have to pay to move to another level means going through pain, so be it. We cannot succeed seated on our comfort zones. We can never succeed in life when we subscribe to this thinking that we were born to be perfect examples of misery and poverty. No way. We must refuse. And I've been telling people that for a seed to germinate, it has to die first. So can you define your destination? Then after that, ask yourself, what is it that you want to do? Which kind of a destination do you want to be? And when do you want it to be there? And what is required of you to do? So that when you know what you need to do, that is when you now purpose to walk that particular journey with what we call a clear picture, a clear mental picture of the destination that you're headed to. So become determined. So I've given you the first D, divine, the second D, destination. The third D is what we call, can you divine your destination so that you can kill the enemy within? Because the enemy lies, let me tell you, it is in your DNA. It is you. You are the person holding the key. And I have given people a very, very simple example. There was this man who was actually a jailbird in Egypt. This man had broken all banks. And therefore, people wanted to know how he could break every bank that was coming across. And somebody, a great philosopher, because philosophers don't think like ordinary mortals, one philosopher decided to test what we call the velocity of the brains behind this breaking of banks without missing. And he said, I want now to prove to you that it is not because this gentleman has had only positive mental attitude. There must be something else that this guy has. But he also wanted to prove that everybody can make it, and we all have our soft berry. But it is the high time that we realize what is our soft berry, what can be done for us to move on. So this guy, one of the greatest philosophers, decided to put a very, very strong, he actually built a bunker for that matter with billions of shillings. And after that bunker was built, it was properly reinforced. It was properly reinforced with very heavy steel bars, properly reinforced. And even the thief himself that jailbird himself, he was actually subjected to see the rigorous processes that were being undertaken by the contractor, so that he can also know in his minds that this is not just a simple building like was the case with the banks that he had broken into. The door was also properly reinforced, very heavy metal door. And after that, this particular thief or jailbird, or this bank thief who could break into any bank, he was finally put into that particular bank, into that particular banker with billions of shillings. And the door was closed. Note my word, the door was closed. So when this particular thief was put in, he was even allowed to carry some of the tools that he could use to break the doors and the walls. So this guy started working on the walls. He worked on the walls for more than 18 hours. And after the expiry of 19 hours, in full exhaustion, the guy actually fainted. In the process of fainting, he hit the door with his right hand shoulder, and the door flung open. What do we learn from here? Tafakari hili. The door was not closed from the onset. The door was never locked. The door was closed but not locked. So what has been failing us is because we have this preconceived judgment that you are born to be failures. Can you become determined? So define your destination, get determined, and finally set your direction towards your success. Hebu tafakari hayo. With those few remarks, may God bless you. Should you require to get motivation of any nature? Should you require team building and boarding activities? Should you require what we call financial coaching? Should you require what we call mentorship? Should you require what we call organization audit for your institution? Should you require your marketing team to be trained by a group of experts who will be tested and proven? Kindly don't hesitate to call us on 0713 534 65. 0713 534 65. May God bless you. Always a blessing to have you.